Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Wednesday, y'all. It is hump day. We have made it to the middle of the week. Praise God. But it is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. And I want to welcome you to Purpose Journey Counseling LLC Reloaded. We're still reloaded in 2023. I'm going to keep saying that because we are. So just grateful and thankful for you being here with us. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I'm the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling LLC, which is located in Cincinnati, Ohio. So again, it's Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. It is 7 a.m. and we are live. But whether you catch us at 7 a.m. or you catch us later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, or even later in the year, we want to say welcome. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And the YouTube link for this broadcast is posted on Instagram. So please just take a few moments. These messages, the time that we spend together twice a week is meant to encourage and empower. That's the point of coming together whenever you're watching this. So whenever you're watching, if you just take a few moments just to like the broadcast, please follow us on your preferred social media platform. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, whether you watch us on YouTube or not. We would greatly appreciate that. But if you would also be so gracious to please share, again, because, like I said, the motivation here is to empower and to encourage and even inspire one another. We all go through various things, throughout our weeks. We don't even know a lot of the times what other people are dealing with or what people are struggling with. So let's just go ahead and share these messages with someone else so that someone else can get the same empowerment and encouragement that you are as well. And then let's also please interact and engage in the comment section. When we're live at 7 a.m., I'm not able to respond to everything for timing, but I do try to go back later on if someone leaves a question, something, or even sometimes I see dialogue between other people as well that have watched. So please just take a few moments to do those few things. We do greatly appreciate that. So a couple of other things, we do share this information every time we're together. So please save this information in your phone. If it's not already saved, please save it. It could be useful for you or someone else. The first number is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. The number is 24/7. So please make sure you have that information in your phone. And then there's also the number for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number is 988. Please store that information in your phone as well. This number is 24/7, and you can also text this number. So please have those resources readily available. You just never know if you may need it, someone else may need it. It's good to have the needed tools. Sometimes we're in these situations and we're like, I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. Well, having these numbers, there are trained professionals who can be right there any time of the day, any time of night to kind of deal with some of those crises as they occur. So let's please save that information so that you can have it available if ever needed. So thank you so much for doing that. So again, it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, we do have our Wednesday wisdom. Wednesday wisdom. So today for our Wednesday wisdom, I wanted to share, if anyone has been tuning in for any period of time, you see that I love quotes. I love quotes that are inspiring, encouraging, that just kind of some things that you could just let penetrate your mind and even your heart, to kind of, again, to encourage and empower, but to just kind of stay with you. And I found this quote. I have a whiteboard in my office and I write a quote on there. I usually keep it up for about a week. But this quote was up for 2 weeks. Actually, just took it down this week. It was up for 2 weeks. But it was so powerful, so powerful. And I want to share this quote with you all. And then I want to share some wisdom for our Wednesday wisdom on this quote, because this is a very wise quote, very, very wise quote. And here it is. Yeah, I love it. If people are doubting how far you can go so far that that you can't hear them anymore. That's Michele Ruiz. I'm going to read that again. It says, if people are doubting how far you can go so far that you can't hear them anymore. I'm going to leave that up there for a second just so you can reread it, ponder on it, take a picture of the screen, whatever you need to do. Um, this is a very, 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 very powerful quote, because if we think about it, time and time again, people have things to say. There's comments, critiques, criticism, feedback, sometimes needed, sometimes unneeded, sometimes desired, sometimes not desired, sometimes just unwarranted, and sometimes it can be very negative or discouraging and do exactly the opposite of what we really need from each other, which would be encouragement, or words. Sometimes criticism can be healthy, it can be, but let's face it, sometimes it's not. And sometimes people will tell you that you can't do something, or you should not do something, or you should do it the way that they would have done it, or the way they conceptualize a situation should be the way you conceptualize a situation. Kind of this idea of, let's just blend everything together and do it the way that I do it, because the way I do it has to be right. And sometimes you have to take a deep breath, because we're all different for a reason, and we're not gonna there's no cookie cutter way of doing things. But sometimes, let's face it, sometimes people say things and it's loud, it's like a resounding, piercing, annoying, hurtful sound sometimes, and it becomes cumbersome for us to be able to move forward or do the things that we need to do, because it's just so powerful, in a negative way. But this quote is literally saying, if you're hearing that, you're going to go so far that you can't even hear them anymore. So not only are you going out of ears, ears reach, like you can't hear them, you're also proving that you can go. So this is actually a powerful statement in itself, because it's like people are doubting you, are telling you, oh, you ain't gonna be able to do that. Oh, you ain't never gonna be successful. You're not gonna be able to accomplish all those things that you want to do. You try to do too much. Why you trying to go sit down somewhere? You're going, so you're proving them wrong without even having to argue. You're not even having to say anything, but then you also can't even hear the negativity that comes along with that. But I want to talk about just what they say, and I want you to hear this. Don't be swayed by what they say. And we're talking about the negativity. We're talking about, you can call them haters, naysayers, you can call them that, but do not be swayed by what they say, because you could be missing out on your destiny, or missing out on the thing that God wants for your life, because you're concerned or distracted or confused. You sometimes become confused by the negativity that other people say. But guess what? They are not the authors of your story. They're not. They're not. And a lot of times we're on the right path, and sometimes people start to speak negatively or speak death over a situation that has been given life, because maybe they had the same opportunities as you've had, and they did not take advantage of them, or they've made some mistakes, they've done some things that maybe just kind of detoured them, and sometimes they seek to detour you. But don't be swayed by what they say. They're not the authors of your story. And don't allow the negativity to control your next move. That's powerful. Don't allow it to control your next move. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes we speak negatively over our own situations, but sometimes, let's face it, it's other people. And some people find it very, very easy to block it out, not worry about it. But sometimes it can be very, very difficult, especially when it's family, or someone who's supposed to be close to you, or someone that you're kind of forced to deal with on a daily basis or very often, and you have little to no control over, how much interaction you have with them. But if you do, going along with this quote, get away from them. If you can, put some space in between you and those people who are trying to doubt you, or tell you you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not going to do this, you're not going to be that. Get away from them. Get far away from them. Because then, not only, again, if we go back to this quote, you're showing them, oh yeah, And now the fact that you're telling me I can't go far, I'm going to go real far, and I can't even hear you. So not only am I doing exactly what you told me I could not do, but now I can't even hear you still talking about how I'm not going to do it, and I'm already doing it. This is powerful. It's a very powerful quote. And so this last one, block out the noise so you can hear the harmony. My God, if we stop listening to clashing cymbals and all this random, these little sounds and all this stuff, a lot of times you can't even hear the harmony in what you're doing or what God has for your life. You can't even hear it because you're so distracted by the noise. It's like you got to get away from just that noisiness and just the loudness. Sometimes it's very, very soft, but it's piercing and it's a deterrent. And getting away from that will allow you to hear the beautiful sounds, the beauty, and see even the beauty and what is to come, and the things that you are working on, and the situations that you are in. And you're like, wow, this doesn't even look like it's going to work. They're saying it's not, but now I can actually sit in this process, and I can remain faithful or get some faith in this process, and I can move towards what I need to do, because now I'm trying to hear the harmony instead of just the noise. So I'm going to put this back up there. We're going to wrap it up. Put this back up there, but it's not my quote. Michele Ruiz. I'm going to definitely give credit where credit is due. But if people are doubting how far you can go so far that you can't hear them anymore. Get them out of your ear. Don't allow them the privilege to have your attention. Don't even give it your attention. Don't be swayed by what they say. They are not the authors of your story. Don't allow the negativity to control your next move. Get away from them and block out the noise so you can hear the harmony. I'm put up there again. I love this. Is one of my new favorite quotes. I found it just a few weeks ago. It's one of my new favorite quotes now. Save this. I promise. If you got to take a picture of the screen, you can crop me out. Ain't about me. Say my quote. Get this quote. Remind yourself, if you need to remind yourself daily of that quote. It will, I'm telling you, will bless your life. It definitely will bless your life. And dealing with difficult people and difficult situations, and sometimes even us, sometimes we're the ones saying we can't, so you block our own mouths out so we're not swayed in the wrong direction. So that is our Wednesday wisdom for this morning. So just want to throw this out there again. We do have our Monday messages and Wednesday wisdom weekly at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live on our social media platforms at that time. And then we have our podcast, hashtag from a Christian, hashtag from a therapist with Dr. Natatu, on the first Sundays of the month, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, again on our social media platforms. And so that is stating that our next episode is on Sunday, May 7th, not this week, not next week, but the week after that, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please, please, please plan to join us on that evening. Thank you so much. So our tag for Purpose Journey Counseling, every time we're together, I want to encourage you to be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional towards others as well as towards yourselves. Again, we thank you so much for joining, liking, subscribing, sharing, following. We thank you for doing all that, all the empowering words in the comments section. We thank you for that as well in advance. And Lord willing, we will see you on Monday next week for our Monday message, live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please have a wonderfully wise Wednesday, and we'll catch you next week. Be it the Lord's will, and blessings and love to each and every one of you.